Let's get to Super Wild Card Weekend. As always, the odds are provided by PointsBet Sportsbook. And Super Wild Card Weekend begins with a bang. There's no building of tension. It's right to the best team currently in football, the Buffalo Bills, hosting their once-upon-a-time AFC East rivals, the Indianapolis Colts. Colts at Bills. Bills, 6.5-point favorite. Over-under at 51. Chris, please don't tell me you are going to shock me with your first pick of the day that the Bills will lose to the Colts.
No, I'm not going to shock you. I'm going with the Bills to win the football game. And I'll throw my score out right now. 31-21 Bills is what I'm going to go. But do I sit here and just go, oh, there's no way the Bills lose this football game or do any of that? No, absolutely not. There's some aspects about the Colts that scare me. You know, it is a good defense with the Indianapolis Colts. It's not a great defense. It's a good defense, but they have some difference makers in a DeForest Buckner and a Darius Leonard, and they're well coached, on that side of the ball. So it scares me that they might be able to find a game plan or whatever to slow down Josh Allen and company. I don't find that likely. I don't. What we've seen really with the Colts is something that scares me against a quarterback like Josh Allen. As games go on and their pass rush gets tired and they're not great coverage guys on the other side on the back end of the Colts, these are the games that tend to Josh Allen eventually takes over and just becomes unstoppable. Oh, wait, you got a good pass rush but not a great one. Oh, well, I'll make you miss, buy some time. Shoo, laser, touchdown. I'll make you miss, run around the edge, 15-yard run, first down. That's what I worry about for the Colts. And Mike, the one thing with the Colts too, they're just a little too predictable and vanilla, and that's scary against Allen and Daboll right now. I do think the Colts and Matt Eberflus, if they want to win this football game, he might have to call some defenses that he doesn't like to call and roll the dice. He might have to do that. And maybe that leads to you to getting, burned. But I don't think they can win the game if they just sit back and play the same type of defense they've played all year long. On the other side of the ball, Mike, I think you've made a phenomenal point all week. I do. Colts offense is really good. We've seen their best when they run the football. And you got to be a little worried about Josh Allen and company and what they're doing till you think, let's help our defense and run the ball a little. And that's an aspect I look and go, they might have something there. It's still a really good offensive line, and it's a Bills defensive line that's not great. It's good. It's not great. Now, that Bills defense isn't going to have to worry about a deep passing game from Phillip Rivers either, but you said it correct this morning on the show. The Colts are best when they run the ball and throw balls that get out of Phillip Rivers' hands quickly. When he sits there and starts patting it, well, I can tell you that something bad's going to happen. He's going to throw an interception or wait to the last second and get hit as he's throwing, and it's going to be a fumble or an interception. And I get worried about that. The Bills are the better team. I'm going with them 31-21, but it's playoff football, and hopefully I laid out a few examples of how the Colts can upset them.
34-20 is my pick, Bills to win the game, so we're on the same page both as to who wins and as to who covers. But this concept of the Colts managing the clock and shortening the game, the best way to deal with the difference in talent and a gap when it comes to advantage at home with fans there, and there'll be energy for the Bills. Keep the Bills' offense on the sideline. Keep Josh Allen in a state of agitation where when he gets on the field, maybe he tries to do too much. What did we see last year in the playoffs against the Texans?
Yeah.
Josh Allen getting agitated and trying to do too much. You want to spin the clock back 12 months if you're the Colts and get Josh Allen trying to do too much in one snap, in one play, in one moment. And one thing that feeds into that, the availability of his receivers. Cole Beasley most likely won't play. He's week to week with a knee injury. Stephon Diggs didn't practice at all on Wednesday with an oblique injury. He was limited on Tuesday. And Isaiah McKenzie, the star of the Week 17 win over the Bills, had three touchdowns, including an incredibly underrated 84-yard punt return. Go back and watch it if you haven't seen it. He stopped, he started, he zigged, he zagged, he outran, he moved, he shifted. It was awesome. He's been limited in practice with an ankle injury, probably injured his ankle, breaking ankles on that punt return. So if you are undermanned at the receiver position, there could be a greater temptation for Josh Allen to do Josh Allen things, which this year is good. last year in the playoffs wasn't good.
Sure.
Remember that, whatever that was, when he tried a lateral or
throw it over his head.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the way. If it's going to happen, that's the way it's going to happen. And there's such an anticipation that these Bills are ready to move on to the next level and ready to confront the Chiefs at some point. The challenge for the coaching staff is to make sure they don't lose sight of the fact that they need to check this box with a hard check mark. And I think that's one of the reasons why we saw the starters for as long as we did on Sunday. I mentioned that earlier in the week. Sean McDermott doesn't want to take his foot off the gas, doesn't want to take his eye off the prize. They want to come out there and they want to kick the crap out of the Colts, and I think they will. But if there is a path for the Colts,
that's it.
It's run game. It's Phillip Rivers snapping the ball as the 1 goes to 0 on the play clock as often as he can, shortening the game and keeping Josh Allen on the sidelines and hopefully agitated when he gets on the field.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. You make a lot of good points. I'm with you. You're right. I mean, the Colts, they need to manage Phillip Rivers a little bit. You got to be careful of him. You have to. I know he's experienced and played a lot of damn football, but we've seen him throw a lot of damn dumb interceptions in big moments and things like that. You know, so that's why I'm in agreement with you of at least play through the run. I don't know if it means snap it at 1 every time, but certainly don't rush out of the huddle and try to, expedite anything that way too. And the wide receiver injury thing too, Mike, that would be a game changer. That would be, because then maybe you do have a chance to get Josh Allen to start going, wait, I don't have help. Let me try to do this myself and make plays and get frustrated. The Colts then might send some more blitzers and do some more aggressive things that they normally don't do because they're going, wait, there's no McKenzie or Diggs to be scared of or of anything like that. I expect Diggs to be out there. Diggs is always early week dealing with an injury, and then it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and he's ready to go. I'm expecting that, but that's scary nonetheless, and certainly got to keep your eye on it.
And remember, it's Saturday. It's a 6-day turnaround.
I know.
That's the thing. Anybody who's banged up coming out of Week 17, you draw the card for a Saturday game, and half these teams are playing on Saturday. That increases the possibility that there's going to be some sort of impairment that lasts into game time because you don't get the full 7 days to turn it around.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.